Sometimes this is what my life looks like. Sitting on my bedroom floor crying, trying to build a bed frame by myself. Sometimes it's just so lonely. I am only going to go out on dates with guys who have Christmas parties coming up. So if you have a Christmas party and you need a date, I'm your girl. Tell me where we find the real men. My advice to everybody is stay married. Life's easier with a partner, and tomorrow's a new day.
Welcome back, family. Today we are going to review this 43-year-old woman who regrets leaving her marriage and cries when she realizes how hard the single motherhood life really is and how hard it is to find a good man in these streets at her age. Let's first start by watching her crying while admitting that her life is so lonely.
Sometimes this is what my life looks like. Sitting on my bedroom floor crying, trying to build a bed frame by myself. Sometimes it's just so lonely.
Now, this woman crying on video might look very sad, but let me remind you that she is the one that decided to leave her marriage thinking that she can replace her ex-husband easily. So, do not feel sorry for her, because she brought all this misery on herself. And the next video will show her admitting that she wished that she had stayed married while complaining about doing what a normal parent should be doing in a typical day.
To say that I am overwhelmed is an understatement. I have had a day. I got off work at 8 a.m., came home, made lunches, ran my kids to school. My kids go to school out of area, so their school is half an hour away. And I had to make it home for 9 for a staff meeting that I attended virtually. And I walked my dog, went to the gym, cleaned my house, get a call from the school that my son has been hit in the face with a baseball bat at recess. And so I pick him up. His eye is swollen shut. He is 10 years old. Now, they give me a letter that says I have to take him to the doctors before he can return to school to make sure he doesn't have a concussion. I call the doctor. They tell me his health card's expired. So then I had to spend 30 minutes online booking us an appointment for tomorrow morning to renew his health card so that I can take him to his doctor's appointment at 9:15 so that he can go back to school tomorrow. I picked my daughter up from school, drove her to work. She did a haunted house at school today and was covered in fake blood. And I said, you can't go to work like that. But she said she could. So I dropped her off, and 2 hours later, she gets dress coded at work and gets sent home, and I have to go pick her back up. My life is constantly busy and constantly just, it's so chaotic. It took me 2 hours of driving from the time I left the gym to pick my daughter up from school, to drive her to work, to get my son's girlfriend, to pick up my one kid, pick up the other kid. It was 2 hours before I got home. And my kids wonder why I'm like a giant ball of stress and yell all the time. And so my advice to everybody is stay married. Life's easier with a partner, and tomorrow's a new day.
She clearly admitted that her life was much easier when she was married. It is true that on this particular video, she is advising other women to stay married after realizing how hard it is to be a single mom. Guys, I will keep on exposing all these fake, happy, divorced women who keep on putting on a front to encourage more women to divorce their husbands for not good reasons, just so that they can all be miserable in numbers. But behind closed doors, this is what these fake, strong, independent women really go through. They cry and cry and cry and cry, regretting their life choices when they are alone. The worst part is that even at this age, this woman thinks that she is such a catch and keeps on lying to herself that men are intimidated by her. Check it out.
Tell me where we find the real men. I have been out on so many dates this past year with men who have told me that I'm intimidating because I'm real and honest and I know who I am. I'm confident. I've only been on one date in the last year with someone I was actually nervous with. And I was like jittery and nervous and awkward. And it was such a good feeling because he was a man. And he's a real man. Thing is, he lives 2 hours away from me, and yeah, so I'm looking for a man's man.
Ma'am, the only thing you deserve is a cat and a dog. And even a cat and a dog are too good for you, in my opinion. Guys, when you hear a woman saying that men tell her that she is intimidating, she is lying. What she means is that the guys she is trying to date can see that she has an attitude and they just move on with their lives. Or they just keep her as a quick pump and dump only. And the Chad that she is supposedly attracted to doesn't even want her, and she knows that she can't have him. This is the reality of modern women, always chasing after what they can't have. Check out this next clip of this woman that clearly demonstrates just how entitled this woman really is when requesting a date.
So, I'm laying here in bed this morning, and I came up with a really good plan. For the remainder of 2023, I am only going to go out on dates with guys who have Christmas parties coming up because I want to get dressed up and go to a fancy, nice Christmas party. And this will increase the possibility of that happening. So if you have a Christmas party and you need a date, I'm your girl. I promise I won't look like this.
The entitlement of the modern woman is out of this world. And that is why men are starting to wake up and starting to stood up these modern women like nobody's business. Enjoy in this next clip one of our city boys who stood her up with no mercy.
Okay, so I have a story for you. Some guy adds me on Facebook, chats with me a little bit over the last couple weeks, asks me out to dinner, and I said I couldn't do dinner because I have my kids and sports and stuff, and I don't know anything about this guy. And I'm like, but I can meet you for a drink after I run my kids around. And so we planned to meet yesterday for a drink, and I message him at 6:30 and I'm like, how are you on time? Because he's coming from Barrie, and he doesn't respond. And so I just think he's driving or something. So I go to the place and I get a table, and I embarrassingly tell the waitress that I'm waiting for somebody, and he never shows up. And I'm like embarrassed, and like I had ordered a drink and I paid for it, and then he messages me and says his meeting ran late and he's really sorry. I immediately just hit delete. Like, you don't get to stand me up. I said, thank you for the completely humbling experience. This has never happened to me before. And now at least I know what it feels like. So thank you for that. And this is exactly how to not pick up a girl.
It's very funny to see how this old, used-up modern woman keeps on chasing after Chad and Tyrone. Ma'am, you've already missed the boat. You had a husband and a family that you decided to destroy. Now you are just a leftover woman with not much to offer to a top-tier man. Men your age can very easily date much younger women and even start a family with them if they want to. So enjoy your strong and independent best life with your cat and dog. Fellas, do not try to save these types of women. And above all, always keep your head up, focus on your goals, and everything else will follow. I love you, and I appreciate you for all your support. Please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and share to help push this content to more men in need. I'm out. Peace.